Yo, what's up guys, it's your boy Nitrostorm here. Welcome back to Revive the Witch. So before we get started, ensure that your auto settings are on free mode. So this is for week 14 of Broken Lands, aka week 2 of the bi-weekly rotation. Without further ado, let's get started. So I'll try and speed things up this time and make it more straightforward. So for area 1, if you take a look at the enemy info, we're fighting these unstable rock cores. These guys deal a lot of magical damage to the front target, so ensure that you have someone that has high magical defense. But our Avil unfortunately is focused on building physical defense for his skills, so we're going to have an extra frontliner up front just to tank a little bit of the damage. And then followed by that, we have the usual Avil and Cezerny combo. For Avil, just ensure you have his second skill unlocked, building him physical defense, and then for Cezerny, you can level her up if you want, just so you can get a little bit more healing in. Alright, so in order to do this stage, it's pretty simple. All you have to do is set S1 on Cezerny, and then second skill on Avil. And then after that, during Arcana Burst, ensure you press Avil S2 right away, so you can ensure that you can clear the level right away. And that's pretty much about it, you know, pretty simple stuff. My Avil is raised a little bit in terms of level, but you don't really need to raise him. It'll just take a little bit longer to finish if you do it like that. Alright, moving on to area 2. If you take a look at enemy info, fighting a Gigas Magman, I believe there are 2 of them, and they deal both physical and magical damage. So in this case, we're going to be using tanky frontliner, followed by Arcana. And then last but not least, we have Pakane. So these guys, you know, they're relatively tanky, if I'm not mistaken. And so you want someone up front to take the damage, and then just have some CC along the way to help your tanky frontliner survive. So far, everyone's only been using purple gears, with the exception of Witch. So he's using a legendary armor and legendary necklace that is both focused on HP and physical defense. Alright, so in order to do this, pretty simple as well. S1 on Arcana, and then S2 on Pakane. And then in terms of skills, they're all passive level 1 and nothing further than that. So after you do the free auto on S1 Arcana and S2 on Pakane, during burst S2 on Pakane, everything else will be straightforward. And there you have it. So just in case for the Witch here, I only use her because she's a free-to-play option, but if you have a different tank, you can use them instead, and they'll be able to survive with only purple gear. Alright, moving on to area 3. If you take a look at the enemy info, we're fighting the Wildfire Magman this time. And so again, you want someone that's tanky in the front lines. So we're going to be using Setez up front. She only has purple gear, passive level 1 I think, or I think just the second skill unlocked. Then we have Sinesha, passive level 1. And then last but not least, we have Mikoto, no passive, but level 2 first skill, all purple gear. So this one might take a little longer than the others, but if they'll be able to defeat it with no stress. So as you can see here, we set S1 on Mikoto and S2 on Setez, and during Arcana Burst you also want to set S2 on Setez. And pretty much after this point, we'll just watch the rest of the fight unfold, because as you can see, it is going to take a little bit of time for Setez to defeat these enemies, because she is a tank inherently, and I'm only using her S2 to both stun them as well as deal some damage. Also, if you haven't used Avil yet and you used someone else on the first stage, you could use Avil here instead, and then it'll perform about the same. So as you can see, we already defeated the first Wildfire Magman, only this guy left. And if you take a look at the top there, up on top of the Wildfire Magman, they are being debuffed thanks to Setez's second skill. And there you have it, we finished the third area. So it took a little bit of time, but it was very safe. Alright, so if you've been following me in this video up until this point, then area 4 should be the easiest one for you to do, as you should have more room, more options, you know, for your URs. You can use all of them in here. But of course, we do have a free-to-play alternative and that is you up front. She has a legendary armor focused on physical defense, and that's about it. Rest purple gear. Then we have Flora, also all purple gear. And last but not least, we have Dorin. And then for replacement for Dorin, if you don't have her, you can always use Tama. She is a Gacha character, SSR, but she is a safer alternative as well, as she has defensive buffs as well, while Dorin is only DPS based. Alright, so in order to do this one, first set S1 on Flora, and then S2 on Yui to get her transformed as soon as possible. And after that's done, you set S2 on Doran after you transform Yui, and then you leave it like that. And then during Arcana Burst, you leave it as it is and keep S1 on Yui. And then once that's done, the first burst, you can change the S1 after burst to Yui, and then you'll be able to finish off the enemy. So apologies if I didn't explain that properly, because it was during the fight, so you can just rewatch the fight if you didn't understand or I wasn't explaining the situation properly. Alright, so that's pretty much about it for Broken Lands. Hold on, there's a bit of a visual bug. Let's just rejoin. There you go. That's about it for Broken Lands. Hopefully you guys found this useful. Again, if you've noticed, I used the same comp as I did some time back, and that's mainly because this team is very free to play. You know, everyone should have basically most of these characters. Maybe not really area 4, but for the first 3 areas for sure, everyone should have these characters, as they are very low rarity. And for the SSRs that I used on the first 3 areas, they are obtainable for free. And that's about it. Let me know what you guys think about this video, or if I should maybe keep making Broken Lands videos. Stay tuned. I'm going to be making some extra videos regarding Path Not Taken and the extra stuff that Revived Witch has released on their tweets. It's been your boy Nitrostorm. I'll see you guys in the next stream or video. Peace.